Yeah, that is, you see, it is also from business to business, but I try to keep that as my overlaying brand filter. And then I have others, for instance, a brand filter gives you clarity and consistency. That's important. So be unstoppable. That's the habit building platform, is also simplicity and results. Yeah. Blue Ocean, my Blue Ocean um, consultancy is clarity and speed. That's what's the most important in today's world for entrepreneurs and for companies. So before launching, posting, or building, ask, does this match my filter? One clean frequency versus 10 mixed messages. Okay, so just simplify this. How jobs and I innovate differently. Yeah, so which means different to others. We don't follow trends. I didn't do that. We solve real pain in unique ways. That's what he did. Uh, um, when the people feel stuck or frustrated with a complicated interface, or which only programmer would understand, he solved that pain point. I didn't solve in a fashion world a big pain point. I would love to say that, but in fashion there is not really a pain point you're solving. Even everyone tells you to squeeze everything into, yeah, you can solve pain points everywhere. Yeah, maybe if you do functional sportswear or something, then, or activewear, then you can do that, but not everywhere. Okay, so, but again, we didn't follow trends, and my the pain point I solved, for example, was at that time there was no, you see here, this is, can you see it there? Hmm? Yeah, you cannot see it. So guys, I show you. This is a little bit difficult to show, I think, yeah, with this screen. So
you have to put it really in front of your face, because Zoom looks at your face. Now
yeah,
we see
like
it. Now
yeah.
we see it.
Okay. So you see this these stripes, right?
Ah.
So you see the stripes. So there was, when I did this called, this is like this, we call it 3D baking effect. So when I did this, there was no machine who could do this. Yeah. So what I did is I had to invent a machine who could do what we want. Okay, there was no machine, and I had no idea how this works. I just saw the first time when I saw this effect was in Hong Kong. Near in my office, there was a like a wholesale market kind of thing, and they had Korean brands. The first time I saw that was from a Korean brand, but it was flat. It was not like 3D. Yeah. So, and then we tried to find out how this works. So, in the end, long story short, so I fly to Korea and try to see how they do this in the factories. And then I saw they had pipes. They had like this metal pipes, yeah, or aluminum pipes, and then they heated up and then they wrinkled it. So what I did is I took a picture. Then I go back to China where my factory was, and then I find a young guy. He was a mechanic. He builds things like that, and then it doesn't exist in the market. So I I let him build movable pipes. Yeah, so it could like a leg, you know. So when it looks like a leg, like in a 90 degrees, so there was this wrinkles, and then we could heat the pipes, make the wrinkles, and keep them permanent with a technique. That was also the first time we did that. Diesel, G Star, Seven for All Mankind, they all copied that. Yeah. So, but it didn't exist. Steve Jobs, when he did the iPhone, and the biggest problem was that the touch screen was too sensitive. Yeah, there was other smartphones, but he wanted to kill that problem. So he go to a company. They do bulletproof windows for cars, for houses, and then he sit with them and then develop something called Gorilla Glass. So that's the glass what Apple till today uses. So it is less sensitive, but still interacts how you want them to interact, or how you want it to interact. So that's how he did. He did think out of the box. So this is don't let, if you go sometimes to companies, they tell you this is not possible, that's not possible. But if you want to do something really innovative, you have to think outside of the box. You have to anticipate, and then just trust your instincts. I know nothing about technical stuff, nothing. I just had the obsession. I wanted to have this perfectly done. So I go find a way and build it. And then I asked this young guy, I said, okay, can you deliver me 800 machines? Because we had Sarah, H&M, and CNA, and New Yorker, and that type of customers, and also Diesel and D squared at that time. Yeah, Diesel bought D squared actually. And so we were the only company in the world could do this effect at scale. Like we produced 800,000 trousers per month with this 3D baking effects, and versus the biggest factory when they copied that from us, G Star and Diesel, they could do in Italy maybe per month 10,000, 15,000, or Gista in Morocco, they could do maximum 40,000 in the beginning. Later, they scaled up, but in the beginning, they could only do that. The problem is in fashion, it's very hard to trademark this type of things, and fashion industry is super fast, so they are copying it very fast. Okay, so just I'm going back to the screen now. So here you can see this means you don't follow trends. Okay. And so I told you that was the Gorilla Glass already, was from Steve Jobs, or the fabrics when there was no denim with at that time there was no denim with bamboo, and I wanted bamboo had this antiseptic effect, yeah, and is also in summer it is cooling, and in winter it is like keeps the heat inside, so it's super cool to combine basically with everything. And we did that. So here you need to look for open-minded supplier. Don't look for suppliers which produces, as don't follow only the big names. Okay, if a supplier produce for I don't know, Lululemon or Diesel, it means he can produce a good quality, yes, but this doesn't mean he is flexible and open-minded enough to change things. Okay, if I would be you, always that's how I select suppliers. I'm only looking for the open-minded one. Yeah. When I go the first time to Hong Kong, my friend of mine introduced me to 50 suppliers. I picked two because they were the only one open to do what I asked them to do. And with that two suppliers, we made millions in the first 2 years. Yeah. So it paid off for them big time also. So I am not an expert, and Steve Jobs is technically also not an expert. That's why when Stephen Wozniak, he suggested everything he wanted, because he's a programmer, he wanted to make products or build products for programmers. But Steve Jobs is not a programmer, and he was thinking more in two worlds. So he could think creatively and very practically, because he also talked a lot to the consumers. That's why he built the products he did and make it very, very simple. Yeah. On the first exhibition where Apple showed their products, the seven other names, you could even not speak it. It was so complicated. Apple, most people just remember Apple because it was so simple. Yeah, most of the other competitors, they had very complex Japanese names or other names which no one could remember. So again, simplicity. Yeah, but the message here is you don't need to be an expert. Actually, to be an expert is often very counterproductive. Yeah. So for Steve Jobs, simplicity, design, transformation was always the center of his product building. Simplicity, design, transformation. My world first invention was not happening over time. Yeah, I invented something. It's like it called color denim. Yeah, that was, we did it on blue denim. Yeah, this is like we did it on here on blue denim, and then I did it also on as color denim. So we were the first one could do a certain technique, and everyone, when we invented it was, I think, 2013, but I worked maybe 9 years to come to that point. Yeah, so invention, it didn't happen overnight, and today nobody talks about inventions anymore, really. Everyone asks ChatGPT, how is the fastest way to make money? Yeah, the problem with that is everyone asks the same question, and ChatGPT can only give you what's have been already done. So you won't be inventing anything out of the box with ChatGPT. Yeah, you can use ChatGPT to make it faster or any other AI, but it will not help you to invent something in the world the first time. Yeah, and so relentless innovation, and I tried, try and error, and I push when, for instance, this is another example. This is black denim with leather coating. Yeah, so this is black denim with leather coating. We were the first one could do this. It's super soft. This trouser is probably 7 years old. Yeah, 7 or 8 years old. We were the first one could do this on denim. Normally, the heating process, so that it looks like leather, it breaks the denim, the lycra. Sorry, the lycra. Yeah, I could do this even on visco modal. This is very thin fabric. They said it's impossible. I wanted to look like real leather. I did it, and it was so good. Sarah ordered the first year 2 million pieces from that, 2 million pieces, until they copied it. That's the crazy thing in the fashion world, is like that. They buy until they can make it cheaper. Yeah. But that's how I was conditioned. So it was clear to me every time when you work with big customers, you give them a new invention, they copy it eventually. Yeah. So that means if I had the clarity, if I had the knowledge I have today from what I do, the blue ocean entrepreneur, I would scale my company to $1 billion. $1 billion, not 80, not 70, like I did. $1 billion with the same product, same knowledge, but I would structure everything completely different. That's the difference of if you have clarity and purpose. So vision first mindset. Like Steve Jobs, he started with a clear outcome. So he wanted to create products which is beautiful, very useful, very simple, and which can do things which most other products can't do. Yeah. So this means category defining. This is again what I talked before. Expertise can limit you. Expertise can limit you. Too much knowledge will block you. You don't know how many times I discuss with my designers and creatives. This is not possible. That's not possible. This print is not possible. They knew everything before they even start and asking. Yeah. So whoever has a company, maybe a bigger company, knows this, that people always tell you if it's in their expertise, what's not possible. Yeah. Very seldomly someone say, oh yeah, let's try something impossible. So that's why I choose open-minded partners, like means like suppliers. And every single time that young guy who was willing to deliver these machines to me, I said for 2 years until he delivered the 800 machines to me, it's exclusive, and then he can sell to others too. He's doing probably today around $200 million revenue with doing different machines. Not only this, but with that machine, he built his fortune. So start with feeling, not facts. You don't need to be an expert. Just know what you want. Then test and refine until it works. The problem is that most people will consistently tell you this is not possible, that's not possible, or will block you, discourage you. For instance, there was a professor. He invented the Nike Air sole with the air injected. He invented that. He go to Adidas because Adidas was much bigger than Nike at that time. Yeah, Nike was just a small company. Adidas was already very big, and they rejected. Adidas was rejected the air sole. Nike took it because it put them apart and give them a different edge. So be open-minded. Don't let people tell you what's possible, what's not possible, and just have an outcome. Nothing what I did. I'm not a technician. I'm not I don't know, a tailor. I'm not a patent cutter. I'm not. I had a factory. I had shops. I had a laundry. I never learned any of it, but I always knew what I wanted to do. I had a restaurant in Bali. I know nothing about this, but I never read about this. I never read a book about it. But when we tested the chefs from the headhunter. We tested chefs. I knew I wanted a really good chef, and then I knew what I want him to be able to do. But I'm not I don't know anything else about this. I always just knew what kind of outcome, what kind of company, what kind of concept I want. Yeah, and that restaurant was nominated 2 times to the 10% best restaurants in the world. Unfortunately, in the pandemic, it was had to be closed. So combine AI and vision. That means if you keep asking for ideas, what all the influencers or like many on social media show you, hey, I made a gazillion dollar with an ebook for $27 and I did it in 5 minutes. This is absolute bullshit. Okay. So it happened one time, but they don't tell you maybe they were already working on something like that for 15 years or 10 years, or what they already worked on similarly to make that happen. Yeah, so they tell you just the surface, don't fall for that. That's happening if you want to get rich fast with AI. It can happen. Everything can happen. Yeah. Anything can happen in today's world. But if you want to have something special, use AI wisely. So how I use AI is for analytics. I wish I would have back then more analytics than and on a push of a button. How cool is that? You can analyze, but you have to ask the right questions. Yeah. So I could ask deeper question to get better answers about trending colors or trending shapes. But if you can ask a little bit more specific question, because I already saw in fashion, the trends is circulating around 9 to 12 years. So the trend right now with the baggy pants and with the pockets, this was in the era actually, I think in the 90s. I sold millions of it. We did micro pants, microfiber pants with, we call it at that time, there was this famous video from J-Lo. She had on, she is wearing pants like that. I don't know. It is probably over 20 years ago. Yeah, or 15 to 20 years ago. So in fashion, the trend cycle is around 9 to 12 years. So whatever is trending right now, I saw it. So I can ask a deeper question, more specific question. That's how I use AI. Yeah, AI will not give you something out of the box because it can only look at the current state and anticipation, connecting the dots. It will be better in that, but it needs to consume more information over a longer period of time. So use AI as your tool, but only if you have a crystal clear vision. Yeah, otherwise you will get more confused. You will scale chaos. Did any one of you probably already experience asking ChatGPT few things or other AI tools, and you get a long list what to do, but if you have not a clear vision, then yeah, what type of content, how should I do it, and what's the difference? They oversimplify everything. Don't fall for that. So that's why create your vision board, your avatar, what is now, where you want to take them, and then create your brand filter, the problem you solve, what you want to achieve with this, what is your brand gift, and then you can use it much more precisely. Yeah, so use AI for trend analysis, customer insights, speed and iteration, but never let AI lead vision, leads AI lead vision, lead with vision, or and AI follows only. Yeah. What I do is a lot of analytics, as I said before, but AI cannot find out your brand gift, or it can only help you to redefine your avatar. But if you give them precise question and prompts, and then you can, but it cannot define the aspirational avatar. That's, or your brand hero. That's something you have to do. So let's recap. Simply, one, know your brand gift. Two, know your brand trigger. Three, define your brand hero. Four, create your brand filter. Five, listen deeply to customers' feedback. Six, use trends and AI wisely. Don't follow, anticipate. Build every piece of your universe around you a clean frequency. So everything around your brand universe create in a clean frequency, in a clean noise. Otherwise, if you don't do that, if things go wrong, gets tough, then you will dilute from your identity, or and then your brand gets noisy, unclear, fragmented. You don't want that. Okay, so and I just want to leave you with something really, really, really powerful. Steve Jobs, often it's shown that he has some kind of superhuman powers. Maybe he did in some way. I don't know. But from what I study, what I connect the dots, I did over 1,000 hours of mastermind meetings. Like I visualize in my ideal room, all the heroes. Steve Jobs was in that room. Then I ask him things about what he's good at. Then I ask Nelson Mandela about, like, whenever I feel down or I wanted to give up, or people take advantage, and I wanted to, like, not give anymore. He remind me, no one ever lost by giving, so I do it for myself and to have a more impact in the world. So I did over 1,000 or 2,000 hours of mastermind meetings with Steve Jobs. So how you do that is you learn everything you could learn about this person, and then you try to think like him. So you try to look from, you ask a question, then you switch into his lens and try to give yourself the answers. This is really cool. I learned that concept from Think Rich, Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. He did it to the point there he had to stop because the figures become so real. He didn't know anymore if he meet them really, or if it was just fiction. Because at his time some of the figures was still alive. Yeah, so that's what I can tell you is, don't think everyone else is a genius. Yeah, Steve Jobs just was thinking simply and clearly, and he listened to customer, and he didn't think like a programmer, but he could understand the superpower of Steven Wozniak. He knew that guy has something special. How he built technically the products. He could take it, package it, reframe it, and then he bring it to the world. Like, I didn't invent the coloring myself. I had one of the best technicians in the world, but I pushed always the limit. So I give him, hey, I find a trouser. I had a technique. He analyzed it. He gave me back the feedback, and then I said, hey, what if we mix this and this and this? He was in execution. Okay, so uh, um, don't be afraid that, or don't shy away if you think like these are all geniuses. This is not the case. Sometimes he grew up in Palo Alto or near. if I would grow up in that town, probably I would be also doing something with computers or programs, or today with AI. There is a book it called Outliers. It is also important where you're born, in what kind of circle. So this doesn't mean you can't change your destiny, yeah. But that's happening also sometimes. He's born there. Of course, what is he when he's looking around? What he's thinking? He thinks about things like that. Yeah. So and just for your information, Phil Knight, the founder of Nike, he didn't do any of the styles. He didn't found the name. His suggestion for Nike was 7 dimensions. That's what if the others would listen to him, Nike would call 7 dimensions. And he started out as a salesman for Essex Tiger from Japan. Yeah, so he didn't invent any of the shoes. He was a salesman only when Essex Tiger violate his rights in America. He was forced. He tried everything to keep Essex Tiger. Only if when he saw they give the rights to someone else and they want to kick him out, then that was the only time when he started to thinking of building something else. And they built shoes, and then they said, hey guys, we need a name. The factory from Mexico asking for a name, and then one guy come up in his dream with Nike. Yeah, victory is in Greece is the god of victory, Nike. Yeah, so he didn't invent any of the products, not the name, not the products, but he was keep pushing the envelope. He kept all the strings together. He kept the vision together. He put the right people together. So if you are not a born genius and think like, hey, how I can do that, fuck that. Okay, so you don't need to be a genius. You just need to keep going. I grew up in a small town in Germany and go out into the world. And when we invented that, everyone from Shacks, Macy's, Hudson in Canada, Galerie Lafayette, Paris, the main house, they were standing on the bread and butter in Berlin. They were in line. Okay, everyone wanted this product. Everyone in the world copied this product. Every brand you can imagine knows the name One Green Elephant. That was the brand name. Yeah. So it happened because I was keep going. I never stopped. Like I'm now 48 years old. I reinvented myself when I was 44 and doing this, what I'm doing right now. And I would never think I could be capable of something like this, but I do it. Okay, so don't let anyone discourage you because it's bullshit. In today's world, you can be anything. You just need to keep going, and you need to leverage everything what is at your disposal. And it was never be easier than today. I remember times when Photoshop courses, when I sent my designers in Germany, it was around 4,000 euros for a weekend, and they needed hours. My designers in Hong Kong, they did that in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Yeah, so the times change so much. Most of the information is free. I mean, you have a supercomputer on your fingertips for free. DeepSeek, ChatGPT, and or with very little money. Yeah. So today, that's why mindset is everything, and mindset is 80%. And by mindset, I mean vision and goals, habits, clarity, grit, resilience, focus. This comes all in one package. That's mindset. And you can attain that one by one. You start with vision and goals, then you get purpose, then from purpose you have grit and resilience, and then you have focus and clarity. Very simple. You can do it within 3 to 6 months if you write down your vision and goals and read them every day. Okay. So now, if you have any questions, please ask me, whether it is in context of the brand or stop sharing. No? Yeah. Okay, guys. So if you have any question, please ask me. Yeah. Anyone have a question about branding, about products, about something where they feel stuck?
Okay, I go if nobody goes. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, Hakan. It was very nice and it was very clear. And it was very reassuring for me to see that I'm on the right path because I have everything you said. My question to you is that from that, to make it known to the world, I remember that Steve Jobs said one day, there was this famous comparison where Henry Ford said something like, if I would have asked people what they want, they would have said they want more horses.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't imagine cars. And Steve
Yeah.
Jobs said something like, you can't sell something to people that they don't know yet,
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm in this position, so to say, that they don't know yet.
Okay.
And they don't think that they need it.
Okay.
How would you do marketing at this moment? You put all the information of your brand and everything, and
Yeah.
for example, ask AI for help for a marketing strategy, which makes maybe to make it. This is where you use AI to help
Yeah.
you in the technique, so to say.
Yes. Yeah. Also, when you have a product which the people don't know they need it yet, then you need marketing, marketing, marketing. But
Yeah.
what you ask in marketing is, so look for, because you have all these prompts, right? They give you a gazillion prompts. So, and then you put the prompt in, and then the answer is you have more problems than you had before. Yeah. So what I would do is, if you have a marketer you admire, like, let's say, I don't know, Alex Harmozy, Gary Vee, or Russell Branson, or anyone's message resonates with you, yeah, what you
And
could
he
do
becomes
is,
my avatar he becomes my
no,
marketer, so
no,
to say.
yeah, the avatar for your marketing.
Yeah.
So what you could do is, do you have anyone you admire?
In marketing, but you did, yeah, Alex Hormozy is a great one.
Yeah. So Alex Harmozy's voice is very, he's straight, he's good, he's
Yeah.
pragmatic, right? You like that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I like Alex Harmozy too. So that's why I do this. So when you take ChatGPT, I use ChatGPT or DeepSeek. So you take ChatGPT and then say, my product, blah blah blah. What is the best way to market this in the fastest way possible, in the most effective way possible, blah blah blah. So you speak, don't write it, speak it in, okay? And then because when you speak, you're more creative, so speak it in, don't write it in, okay? And then you say, how would Alex Harmozy write this marketing plan? Yeah. After he give you a suggestion, you say, now give me how Alex Harmozy would write it and how exactly he would execute it. Then he will give you in that tone. And what you could do as a last step, to, because Alex Hormozy already is very simple, but just to be sure, you can say, and now put a layer on top and use the Richard Feynman technique. Richard Feynman was known for that he could take something very complex, explain it like a 12 years old would understand.
How do you spell his last name?
Richard Feynman.
Feynman. Okay.
Yeah. So this is he win the Nobel Prize. So from him, he can take very complex, like he can talk about atomic fusions, blah blah blah, like a 12-year-old kid would understand. Imagine.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I do, and then you have a consistent voice. So if you like Alex Hormozy and then you read it, then if the result resonates with you, then you can keep with it. So I use Alex Hormozy, Russell Brunson, or Gary Vee. Sometimes I ask in different ways. So and then he gives me back, and then I decide, okay, I use this or that. That's the most important. I imagine I had the world first invention. Everyone in the world we were in one go. We were in any country in, I don't know, in 6,000 sales points. And in 1.5 years, it was like we had agents, we had this and that. We built the infrastructure, which cost me a lot of money. And then the trend was gone, and all the big ones copied it. They bought it first from me, and then they copied it. Okay, not the same, but they copied it. So and then the trend was gone, and I had the big infrastructure, the big costs, but not the revenue. Yeah, so I mean, I had not zero revenue, but 30-40% less. Yeah, so if you have something other people don't have, market it, have a clear vision, and today build everything lean with agentic AI. So for your bookkeeping, for email conversation, for follow up, everything you can automate, do it. Yeah, build it lean.
What do you mean by build it lean?
Lean means have few good people and then use AI to automatize whatever you can. Because, for instance, most AI companies, they're doing like 100, 200 million. They have 20, 25 employees.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing that.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a question for you. I don't know because I can't find somebody helping me on that.
Yeah.
I happen to have a very good social media personally, where on LinkedIn I've been very consistent, always talking about the same topic every day. And on Instagram also on another topic every day where I do videos. Until now, I was advised not to sell anything, but to give knowledge and to help people, to do things.
Yeah.
How do you bring this knowledge to then convert to the product
Share publicly
in an elegant way?
Yeah, share publicly and ask for business privately. So you share your knowledge, and then you reach out to them and say, "Can I help you?" So that's what I do. Let's say from these calls, when someone reach out to me afterwards or something, and then or I see someone could need help, then I reach out to them, and then from there I build a relationship or sell something.
Okay, that's a good advice. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's so don't disturb your flow. Just ask privately if you want to ask.
That would work in my case. That would work because I have a B2C and a B2B. That would work for the B2B.
Yeah.
But the B2C, that would be more complicated. But yeah.
Yeah, start first like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you will, and then you can pivot from there. You can take the good thing, leave the bad thing, and then you see pivot from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries. So anyone else want to ask something? Don't be shy, guys. No one? Okay. So if no one wants to ask something, then I'm going to close the call because I shared already what I have to share. If you have questions, I'm happy to help. Uh, um, Use it while it's free, guys. I can only advise you that much. So, but if no one has any more questions, then I would close the call. So, last chance. Okay. So then, thank you guys all for joining. Sorry?
Thank you. No, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you guys all for joining, and I hope we speak in 2 weeks again with a different topic. There we will go into brand positioning or mindset. I'm in like one of the pillars. We will do mindset or brand positioning, which is super important. So we will see in 2 weeks. Hopefully, we talk again. Yeah, guys. So don't forget, in today's world, you need the 4 pillars: mindset, skill set, brand positioning, and AI enablement. If you miss one, you will stall. If you miss two, you will disappear. So use it wisely. In today's world, you need all 4 pillars. Love and respect. Have a great night. Thank you.